Okay, things are getting really interesting now. Using Slack Bolt, which I'll explore in a minute with you, I've created a way to have my Gemini-CLI truly actively participate without any intervention, without anything at all. It's just a listener, a participant, a coworker, a teammate, listening to the conversation in Slack. When we say something in Slack, the Gemini-CLI responds. Now, we could take advantage of MCPs this way. We could do a lot of different things this way. So let me quickly go over this. You want to look into Slack Bolt, and I'm using Bolt for Python. And I wrote a little Python script, and I'm going to show you this. So, in the repository, the Gemini/listen repository, I've added this Slack Bolt with the requirements and the app file, which is only like 120 lines of code. Really awesome little bot app for Slack. And let me go ahead and push this in. Working. And I'll merge that in. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So now I don't even need ngrok, I don't think. I'm going to shut ngrok off. And I'm going to turn on Gemini. And I'm going to use my new /listen live mode so I can see the incoming requests and the outgoing responses in real time, as opposed to hidden as a process in the background. Now this will just, so we're going to go ahead and do /listen, and we're going to do live, the new development mode that will start a listener in the foreground, not in the background, that will let us develop and troubleshoot and analyze and see the requests coming in, as well as the Gemini-CLI response going out. Now, we're going to really see something pretty powerful here in Slack with the Bolt script that is just listening for messages in the room. I don't have to invoke it with /bot or @bot or a hot keyword or anything like that. So we're going to allow this and get the listener going here. And just bear with me a second. So it should be listening now, I think. All right, so now we have our Bolt running and our listener running. Let me try to do this in Slack over here. So in my room with my bot, I'm going to say, hello, Gemini-CLI. Could you give me a famous, inspirational quote about technology and the future? You see that come in through my Bolt and then come in through my Gemini? And I don't even have ngrok running because Bolt will stitch all this together behind the scenes. So here we go, and check this out. I love this one. The best way to predict the future is to invent it, by Alan Kay. Well, that's very inspirational. You can also see that it answers to other people, not just me. Here's a haiku that my friend Jeremy asked for, and now it's giving me this technological quote. Now, let me try a new thread here and say, you should have access to a local file called, oh, hang on. Let me make sure I'm in the right folder first. So let me kill this and go into my packet analysis folder. And there's nothing listening. Okay, so I can do Gemini here and get into live mode. We'll just give this a second to go through its thing. Local file called capture.pcap. Can you use your Packet Copilot tools to provide me with the L2, L3, L4 summary report of this packet capture? Right? Just like as if I'm talking to somebody else. So we're just going to make sure the listener is going to get launched here. Just 1 second. All right, here we go. Always allow. Initiating the listener, and we should be listening. So let me try this. enter. And we're going to go back to our logs here. Pretty neat, right? So it's come in through our Bolt app, and our Bolt app is sending this along to our Gemini-CLI. And our Gemini-CLI may take a little bit of time because it's going to invoke the MCP, Model Context Protocol, using the Selector Packet Copilot MCP to analyze the packet capture. Now all I had to do was change into the folder where I had my PCAPs. So let's just be patient with this. But I'd like you to start thinking about how you could use this as a digital coworker, right? Gemini-CLI incorporated right into your natural conversations. And it just answers. It just listens as if another coworker is in the room listening and going to respond. It could have multiple people answering. We're just going to wait. Yeah, I know. Okay, there's a read timeout. All right, so it's just a timeout. That's not a big deal. Let's just try that whole thing again. So I'm going to ask this question in a new thread here. And we're going to see it hit the, right? So we're going to see it hit the Bolt. And we're going to see it hit the Gemini here. And we just have to be patient. It takes approximately 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes for this to complete, which is fine. We just have to wait. So this is quite interesting because we're tapping into the MCP server that Gemini-CLI has, which is the Packet Copilot. And I didn't have to call anything out. I didn't have to slash commands. Everyone sees the response. Everyone can participate. And hopefully in just a minute or two, we'll get a packet capture analysis, a packet capture analysis response. So there's the response. And there's the reply, and here is the packet capture analysis here. Source destination IP, layer 4 information. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? So a true autonomous agent with agency to call tools that just listens to our response. You would have no idea that wasn't a person. You just chat, and it's listening and answering and participating. So that was a lot of fun. That Bolt script is now in the GitHub repo. Please have fun with this, and I'd love to see what you're doing with the /listen capabilities that we've added that to Gemini-CLI. Thank you.